There is a moment every traveler hits where they open a new tab, type in flights to Asia, and then just sit there, because Japan and South Korea keep coming up side by side, and both of them look genuinely incredible. And suddenly, 2 weeks of planning turns into an hour of staring at a screen going nowhere. That moment is exactly what this video is for. These two countries are neighbors. They are not the same trip. And by the end of this, the choice is going to feel a lot more obvious. Cost. Starting with cost, and this is where most people get their first real surprise. Japan has a reputation for being expensive, and that reputation is at least partially outdated. The yen has been weak against the dollar and the euro for a couple of years now, and most travelers find that Japan is considerably more affordable than expected right now. Street food and convenience store meals, which are genuinely excellent, not a consolation prize, run just a few dollars. A bowl of ramen at a proper shop is $5 or $6 by most estimates. Budget accommodation in hostels and capsule hotels is widely available. South Korea is similarly affordable in a lot of ways, with street food in Seoul's markets running cheap and public transport costing almost nothing by Western standards. Most budget travelers find the two countries fairly comparable in day-to-day spending, though Japan's current exchange rate gives it a slight edge for many visitors right now, worth checking both before assuming either breaks the bank. Food. This is the category most people came here for, and it deserves the time. Japanese cuisine is one of the most refined and varied in the world by almost any measure. The ramen, the sushi, the tempura, the yakitori alleys of Tokyo, where smoke drifts across the street at 10 at night and every skewer costs $1.50. The kaiseki multi-course tradition that turns a single meal into a 3-hour experience. Korean food fights back with something completely different, louder, bolder, built around the table rather than the bowl. Sam Gyeopsal pork belly grilled at the table, bibimbap, the banchan, the small side dishes that just keep arriving without anyone asking, and the Korean fried chicken, which most people who try it argue deserves its own entire conversation. Most food lovers find this category genuinely impossible to separate, and that is probably the right answer. Both countries are among the best food destinations on Earth. It comes down entirely to which flavor profile feels more like home. Cities and culture. Tokyo is one of the most extraordinary cities most travelers ever visit. The sheer scale of it, the layering of ultra-modern and deeply traditional within the same block, the neighborhoods that each feel like entirely separate towns. Shibuya, Shinjuku, Yanaka, the temples of Asakusa sitting next to a skyline that looks like it came from a film set. Kyoto operates at a completely different register, slower, older, more intentional. Most visitors find the combination of both cities in one trip is what makes Japan feel so complete. Seoul is extraordinary in its own right, one of the most dynamic, creative, and genuinely cool cities in Asia by most accounts. The Han River at night, the Palace District of Gyeongbokgung, the independent coffee shops and vintage markets of Ikseondong. Korea's cities feel alive in a way that is hard to articulate until someone is standing in the middle of it. Nature. Japan's nature is iconic. Mount Fuji, the bamboo groves of Arashiyama, the deer of Nara wandering between temples. South Korea counters with Jeju Island, widely regarded as one of the most beautiful places in East Asia, and the hiking trails of Seoraksan National Park, which most outdoor travelers rate extremely highly. Most visitors would give Japan a narrow edge here simply because the variety across the country is so vast. But South Korea's natural offerings are genuinely underrated in most Western travel conversations. Ease of travel. Japan's rail network is one of the great engineering achievements of the modern world, and using it is one of the genuine pleasures of any trip there. The Shinkansen and the bullet train makes moving between cities feel almost effortless. South Korea's public transit, particularly in Seoul, is similarly excellent and arguably even easier to navigate for first-time visitors. Both countries are extremely foreigner-friendly by most accounts. Always check current visa and entry requirements on the official government website before booking either, as these do shift. The verdict: Japan tends to suit travelers who want to feel genuinely transported, somewhere that operates on a completely different logic, where the food and the design and the culture all feel like they arrived from a different timeline. It rewards slow travel and repays return visits endlessly. South Korea tends to suit travelers who want that same depth of culture, but with a city energy that feels more contemporary and immediately electric. The nightlife is better, the beauty scene is extraordinary if that matters, and Seoul in particular is one of those cities most people say they wildly underestimated. Go to Japan to be moved, go to South Korea to be energized. And if the budget allows for both, most people who have done the trip back to back say it is the best 2 weeks they have ever spent.